Everybody, welcome back to Leosophy. I got 3 more questions. I'm going to jump right in. Question number 1. Does soy lower test? Okay. There's been so many things leveled against soy lately. Well, not even lately. First, years ago they said that it would cause senility, and now they're saying it lowers test. And there are phytoestrogens in soy, but they do not mirror the estrogens that people produce to the point that they're actually going to have an impact on your test, unless you're eating obscene amounts. It kind of reminds me of that myth that was going around, or I think it was a myth, in the 90s, where it was like, you're drinking Mountain Dew, that makes your wang chung shrink. Technically, the yellow dye might have that kind of effect, but you'd have to drink like a barrel of the dye rather than Mountain Dew. And similarly, you would have to consume enough soy for like a flipping cow for it to have an effect. And it is kind of comical. I do, by the way, think the whole Soyboy thing is real. It's not actually soy that's the problem. But it is kind of funny that people have no qualms about consuming, really low-grade milk that's filled with actual estrogenic hormones. But they take issue with soy, which, again, I have a lot of opinions about, the whole eat the bugs, eat the soy, live in a box attitude. I do think it's a negative view. I do think it is sort of an attempt at dehumanizing people. But at the same time, I also do not buy into the whole, if you eat edamame, you're going to grow a pair of boobs and you're going to start talking with a high-pitched voice. That's nonsense. So, yeah. In other words, soy boys exist, but it's not from soy. It's from not competing as a child, as a result causing epigenetic problems. My entire generation was subject to that weird feminized nonsense. It stems from a lot of hormones in other things. It stems from microplastics. It stems from, what are those compounds? There are estrogenic compounds, well, actually hormone-disrupting compounds in a lot of things. I just can't think of what they're called presently. So, by the way, just for the record, for anybody just tuning in, I don't read these until it's time to answer them. So this is not like, pre-researched questions. Let's see. Next question, though. I heard that cows are unnatural and shouldn't exist. Is this true? Okay. Well, cows themselves are not unnatural, and they probably should exist, I would argue. But what you've heard has probably been a bastardized form of the valid claim that a lot of modern breeds of cows have been domesticated to such a point, especially the hornless variety, the polled variety, that they don't really have the means of surviving without human interference. Like, if, let's say, the world just ended tomorrow and people went to another world like they did at the end of WALL-E, the beginning of WALL-E, then cows would be just destroyed by predators within a couple of generations, excluding the more older breeds that can take care of themselves better. And they, being subjected for the first time in a long time to the evolutionary arms race, they would become more like aurochs, which are extinct, and they're sort of like the progenitor of cows as a species. So, yeah, they'd be more buffalo-like, in other words. That is assuming they just didn't get out-competed entirely by other bovines like buffalo who are going to have an edge on them. But it's not that they're unnatural. It's kind of like saying dogs are unnatural. Well, is a husky unnatural? I would argue certainly not. Is a chihuahua unnatural? That's a little more debatable because, which one's going to survive, So, but of course that also depends on climate. A husky's not so great at dealing with Mexico City, but a chihuahua is. So, bottom line, they're not unnatural, but they have in the past couple of centuries been bred to a point that's probably not good for them being independent from humanity, at the very least. Let's see, last question. Is beef broth legit? Yes and no. It's kind of like with a lot of these things. Is apple cider vinegar good for you? Yes. Is it good for any of the things that people claim? A couple. Is it this miracle cure? No, it's not. Same thing with bone broth. It has gelatin in it, which is good for your skin and nails. It has, why am I so bad at remembering this stuff? Oh, collagen, which is also good for skin, nails, and joints. It has micronutrients in it that are good for you. It's extremely low in calories, but it's also very high in sodium, even though the sodium thing is a lot of it is a myth about the whole people consuming too much. You have to consume a lot more than the people say. Japanese diet's full of it, for example, and they're fine, but a lot of the, if you want to be keto, you gotta have that. Okay, why? Because it's keto. If you want, it kind of reminds me of how much people in the bodybuilding industry push protein powder. Is it convenient? Yeah. Does it have protein in it? Yeah. Do you have to take that? Is it better than just having like yogurt or a steak? No, it's not. And so similarly, bone broth it has benefits, but it's not like some vital thing that you need to have every day. That's nonsense. I mean, it's not that different from broth, from stock, from what have you. It's just, yeah. It's overhyped, but it's not gonna kill you if you have it. Like, share, subscribe, keep asking questions. Bye.